The reason why we built FAPSCO is to unite the Filipino online professionals industry, to also promote collaboration with each other, and of course we wanted to help produce skilled online professionals, specialists, and of course leaders.
We've created FAPSCO with a vision to become an organization that supports all Filipino online professionals to be successful in their online careers and businesses, regardless of their affiliations.
I joined FAPSCO because as an online professional who's working at the comfort of my home, I needed other individual can share with me on this freelancing journey.
The reason why we have built the Filipino Online Professional Service Cooperative is to help 𝙭𝙭 graduates, aspirant freelancers, and this is also to help them develop, explore, and acquire new skills when it comes to online professional industry.
Ang paglambo o kalampusan sa usa ka organisasyon nagadepende sa kalidad sa mga miyembro o mga lideres niini. Ang FAPSCO dili lang adunay maanindot kayo nga advokasya o misyon na matabangan kitang tanang mga online professionals na magkahiusa, mulambo o mutubo kita sa atong pagpanarbaho o pagnegosyo online.
FAPSCO for me is a digital opportunity for me to develop and share my skills.
I joined FAPSCO as one of the founding members because I knew FAPSCO is going to be backed by other veteran online professionals and freelancers, thereby having an experienced, solid, and passionate founding members that we have today.
I joined FAPSCO because the vision of the co-op aligns with my personal vision to provide much-needed support to online professionals nationwide.
I joined FAPSCO because the people that I've met have the same values, mission, and vision as mine, and that is to provide assistance, pre-training, and coaching to those who wants to jumpstart their career as a freelancer.
I joined the FAPSCO community because it promotes collaboration instead of competition.
I joined FAPSCO because this is a group with a helping hand.
I wanted to be part of an organization that would be a pioneer group of individuals who will be working to promote online freelance.
Alright, that's a big yes, and we really are growing together, getting bigger and better this year, 2023. Hello world! Hello Pilipinas, Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao. I'm yours truly, ang nagbabalik ng ang inyong lingkod, Celeste, and I'll be your moderator for tonight's solo flight taco ngayon. Okay, for tonight, we're going to have a continuation of our webinar series entitled filing of tax returns and closure of registration for self-employed. Alam kong marami sa inyo ang may mga katanungan dyan. So wait lang muna while yung invited guest natin, invited resource speaker, will be sharing more of her expertise para sa topic na ito. Okay, this training is for our FAPSCO members, 𝙭𝙭 graduates, and aspiring online freelancers who want to develop, upskill, reskill, and explore more about the online freelancing industry. Okay, so this is in collaboration with FAPSCO Media na nasa background lang, okay? At saka yung FAPSCO, the Filipino Online Professional Cooperative. Okay, so before we start, let me first establish some house rules, which are kindly put your phone in silence mode. Next, mute unnecessary noise that can interfere with our webinar. And of course, we are seeking for your active participation. And if you do have questions, may mga bumabagabag sa mga isipan ninyo, especially on filing ITRs, yung status ninyo dun sa BIRs, yung mga records ninyo, feel free to drop in yung mga questions ninyo. We are actually live live stream tayo sa YouTube at saka sa Facebook Live. And please do not forget, para malaman at ma-shoutout ko kayo, ma-mention ko kayo, type in your location kung saan kayo ngayon. Okay, so I guess everything is set up now. So let's get things going. Okay, now let me introduce first our guest speaker for tonight. She is actually a bookkeeper, an ESL tutor, and a virtual assistant from Tarlac. And she graduated from Tarlac State University with a degree of Bachelor of Science in Accountancy. So parang pansit palabok lang yung mga numbers sa kanya. She is a completer graduate and a medalist in the social media marketing and advertising course of Digital Jobs PH under the Department of Information and Communications Technology, DJPH. Okay, so yung guest or resource speaker natin has been assisting online professionals here by managing their BIR duties, specifically tax compliance, as self-employed. So lahat ng mga online freelancers natin, ng mga ka-works dyan, this is your time para maka-learn kayo what are the do's and don'ts sa mga duties natin sa VIR. Ano ba yung dapat gawin para sa pagpaparegister if you do have an existing work as an online freelancers and whatnots. And also, yung speaker natin ngayon, she either helps our fellow freelancers directly or connects them to someone in the industry. So let's learn more about the filing of tax returns and closure of registration for self-employed. Please help me welcome Miss Marichris Carvalho. Hello, Miss Chris. Welcome back.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for having me again here po sa podcast.
So Miss Chris, although absent ako last week, pero napanood ko from the start talaga yung episode ninyo last week and I've learned so much from it. Especially, parang continuation yung discussion natin previously, di ba? So, a lot of people were asking me, especially mga fellow online freelancers natin, di ba? Especially na parang nasa magiging law na yung melon na tayo para sa mga online freelancers, tayo mga online professionals. And kaakibatin dun yung obligasyon natin sa country natin, which is paying our taxes. Kaya nga, malaking question, how are we going to file doon sa BIR? Kasi mismo yung agency na doon, hindi pa nila makakategorize tayo kung saan ba tayo nila ilalagay. Diba? So, I guess the floor is yours. The virtual floor is yours, Miss Marichris. Nabubulol na ako kasi excited ako. Sige, Miss Marichris, the virtual floor is yours. Are you ready for your presentation?
Yes, thank you. So, just to have a quick recap po of what we discussed last week. We talked about from registering our business. Not just sa BIR, nagkaroon tayong konting discussion sa DTI, Securities and Exchange, kung sino yung kailangan nun. Well, for us freelancers, hindi naman natin siya kailangan. And I reiterated several times that it always depends on your RDO. Some RDOs have additional requirements na nakukuha natin sa LGU, like mayor's permit or occupational tax receipt or OTR. Depende rin if you're practicing a licensed profession, like if you're a nurse practicing online, then required ka rin mag-professional tax receipt. So my advice is always to confirm with your local RDO. When we say RDO, that means Revenue District Office. It simply means your local BIR office. It's always best to check with them, because if you're going to copy someone else's requirement, it may not be the same as yours. So the best way is always to check with your local RDO. So yeah, we discussed the registration and we discussed kung ano yung mga makukuha natin pag nag-register tayo, which is of course yung certificate of registration, official receipts. So ito yung resibo na may pangalan natin, may TIN, and my address natin. And every time we receive fees, or we don't really call it salary kasi salary is for mga employed eh. So every time we get our commission or fees or our pay from our clients, kasi freelancers tayo, we have to issue them receipt or OR. The same way na pag bumibili tayo sa tindahan, nanghihingi tayo ng resibo as proof na nagbayad tayo. We also should get our books of accounts. Ito yung journal or ledger or columnar. Hindi lang basta tayo kukuha ng libro, kailangan susulatan din natin yon. Ang sinusulat natin doon are all the transactions that we have, lahat ng income na pumapasok, lahat din ng mga gastos natin na connected sa trabaho natin. So, hindi lahat ng gastos pwedeng ilista doon. Yun lang mga, halimbawa, headset, yung nagpa-repair ka ng laptop, bumili ka ng bagong table, or yung kuryente, internet, or kinailangan mong, ayun, sa BIR, nagbayad ka ng tax, pwede mo rin isulat doon. And, yeah, COR, OR, and books of accounts. I think yun yung tatlong pinaka-importante. That's what we discussed last time. I'll try to remember later kung meron pang pwedeng i-recap. But for today, the main focus po nung discussion is yung mga tax returns na fina-file natin. So, pag sinabi natin nagpa-file tayo ng tax return, it means nagre-report tayo sa BIR kung may kinita tayo or wala. How much did we earn, or kahit zero yan, i-report mo pa rin by filing your ITR. Before, they required na manual or sa BIR mismo, bibigyan ka nila ng form, i-fill out mo yun. But now, we can easily do it online. Merong e-BIR app na pwedeng download din. And then you can file electronically. Meron kang marireceive na email confirmation from e-BIR. They recommended that, especially nung nagkaroon ng pandemic. So, to avoid yung mga personal interaction, face-to-face interaction. So, yun yung main focus ng aking discussion for today. Hold on, mag-share ako ng window, yes. Can you see my screen po?
Okay na po.
Thank you, Ms. Celeste. So yes, once again, filing of tax returns. So this is specifically for freelance tax filing and payment. So of course, merong iba't ibang klase ng taxpayers, hindi lang mga self-employed. It depends, iba-iba rin ang ating magiging mga required na tax returns na kailangan i-file. So our main focus is of course yung para sa atin na mga freelancers, na mga online professionals na tinatawag. Let's see. So first, let's talk about train law. I'm not sure if everyone is familiar with train law, pero si President Duterte nag-implement siya ng changes sa tax system natin. If you guys can remember, like way back, merong mga categories yan. If you're single, malaking tax mo. If you're head of the family, then medyo maliit lang yung tax mo. If you're head of the family with 1 or 2 dependents, then mas maliit yung pinabayaran na tax. Ngayon, tinanggal ni Duterte yan, pinalitan niya ng train law or yung tinatawag na tax reform for acceleration and inclusion law. Basically, sinasabi nila na pro-poor daw ito and anti-rich kasi parang pinaliit niya yung taxes ng mga we can call na mas ordinaryong tao. So, this was implemented on December 19. Basically, ang pinaka relevant sa atin na information dito is that for the first 250,000 ng income natin, if we are registered, okay, yung pagdi-discuss ko dito is considering na registered tayo as self-employed. Meaning may COR tayo, updated tayo sa BIR as self-employed. So, yung unang 250,000 na income natin, wala tayong tax dyan. So, para sa mga medyo hindi kalakihan yung income, let's say 200,000 lang sila for the whole year na, wala silang kailangang bayaran tax. Kaya sinasabi nila na medyo may pagka-pro-poor yung train law. So, kung meron ka namang income na 300,000, ang tax mo lang, ang taxable income mo lang is yung sobra or excess sa 250K, which is yung 50,000. Now, how much is the tax? Pag-usapan natin later yan. But basically, yan yung pinaka-relevant or significant feature ng train law na applicable sa mga katulad nating self-employed. Additionally, ito yung iba kong highlights. Again, those earning 250,000 annually and below will be exempted from paying income taxes. In case you exceed yung excess mo lang sa 250 ang taxable. Those earning more than 5 million a year will pay a higher tax rate of 35%. Dati 32 lang siya, pero with the train law, it's 35 na. So again, they say it's anti-rich. It's pro-poor and anti-rich. Ngayon, para naman sa mga empleyado na merong mga may mga bonuses, 13th month pay na medyo malalaki, the cap or maximum na tax exempt eligibility para sa bonuses, from 82,000, 100,000 na. That means kung yung bonus mo or 13th month pay mo is below 100,000, hindi na yan taxable. Kasi before nung nasa BPO ako, pati 13th month pay ko taxable eh. Ngayon, if hindi ka naman lalagpas ng 100,000, walang tax yung 13th month pay mo. Corporate taxes naman, this is mga negosyo, from 30%, binabaan naman to 25%. So, yun lang yung mga main highlights ng train law. Once again, implemented yan noong 2017. Next one. So, you mentioned this kanina, Ms. Celeste, yung types of taxpayers natin, iba-iba yan. Meron tayong tinatawag na corporate. Ito nga yung mga negosyo talaga, mga businesses, mga corporations na malalaki. So, nagbabayad sila ng corporate tax nila. Meron din namang mga individual taxpayers. So, yung individual, may dalawa pang category yan. May mga employees. Sila yung mga call center agents, mga office workers. Nagbabayad din sila ng tax nila. Ang tawag sa income nila ay compensation income. Ngayon naman tayo as freelancers, nandito tayo sa category ng individual, pero we are professionals. So, professional income naman ang tawag sa atin. So, once again, yung dalawang types of taxpayers, you're either a corporate taxpayer or individual taxpayer. Pag individual ka naman, you're either employed, meaning pumapasok, or not necessarily pumapasok kasi may mga work from home pa rin na employed, pero sila yung may mga employee. Pag professional, tayo yan, naghahanap tayo ng mga client or nag-online work tayo sa mga agencies or ESL, ganyan. Next one. So professionals, more on professionals, we are classified as self-employed. Kasama dito yung mga nagpa-practice ng profession nila. Halimbawa, doctor na may sariling clinic lang siya. So, professional yung kanyang category. Pwedeng with license, pwede rin without license. So, maybe sasabihin ng iba, ba't kayo professional? Hindi naman kayo lisensyado. Kumbaga, freelancer lang kayo. Hindi naman kayo mga
ouch yan,
license
ha?
That's one of the, parang pinagdadaanan natin as freelancers, di ba? Parang sinasabi nila, how can you be considered as professional? Ako kasi, pero under the tax classification, with or without license, we are all professionals. Sabi dito, we receive payment for the service that, we do, we perform, kung ano mang VA yan, or ESL, or as a trainer, pero wala tayong yung mga usual na benefits, like SSS maybe, or PhilHealth. You have to really do it on your own. Kailangan mo mag-register as self-employed sa SS, kailangan mo mag-voluntary sa PhilHealth, and sa Pag-ibig, kailangan mong kumuha ng sarili mong healthcare kasi self-employed tayo, so wala tayong mga employee na magbibigay nun. Walang mga kumpanya. Examples of self-employed professionals are private practice physicians or doctors, mga lawyers, accountants, yan yung mga licensed. Pagdating naman sa mga yung without a license, once again, tayo yung mga yon, usually mga online professional. Pero it doesn't mean na, for example, may marami akong kilalang licensed nurses na nag-work sila as VA. So, professional pa rin talaga yun. Anyway, so our main focus is yung professional taxpayers. Tayo yon. Meron tayong dalawang tinatawag na choices sa magiging tax category natin. Dito nakadepende kung ano yung mga i-file natin. Dito rin nakadepende kung ano yung mga babayaran natin na taxes. Yung isa is tinatawag nating 8% income tax rate. Yung isa naman ay tinatawag nating graduated IT rate. So, ang pinaka-default dyan, pag nag-register ka sa BIR, usually ang default is graduated IT rate. Let me just browse. Ito, meron naman pala akong explanation eh. So, marami nagtatanong sa akin kung ano yung maire-recommend ko na mas okay or syempre mas matipid. Pero the answer is depende sa income mo. Kasi pag mas malaking income mo, merong isa na mas okay. Pag hindi naman ganun kalakihan, merong isa na mas okay. Pero maybe we can discuss that later. But basically, pag nag-register ka self-employed, you have two choices. Either to register under 8% income tax rate or to register under graduated IT rate. Pag hindi ka tinanong sa BIR, automatic yon. Believe me, naka-under ka sa graduated IT rate. Kasi sa BIR, I'm not sure if may nanonood na BIR, pero mas gusto nila to kasi ito, mayroon kang babayaran surely every quarter.
Miss Chris, question. Sino po bang pipili kung ano bang IT rate ang babayaran mo? Is it ikaw as a taxpayer or si BIR mismo?
Ikaw, you have the
okay.
right to choose. The thing is, kung hindi natin alam yung difference between the two, syempre mahirap mamili. Like, kapag nandun ka na, tapos sinabi sa'yo na, buti nga kung papipiliin ka eh. Sometimes they don't even like let you choose or they don't even inform you enough para malaman mo yung difference between the two. Pero, yeah, they would ask you like, anong gusto mong tax rate? Do you want to be under 8% or do you want to be graduated? Syempre, kapag hindi mo alam, parang kayo na pong bahala. Ganun. So, usually, they would
yung sasabihin natin, ano yung pinakamababag mabayaran?
Kung ano po yung mas maganda, parang sige po kayo na pong bahala kasi you just wanna get, get it over with, parang ganun eh. Gusto mo lang makuha yung dokumento mo. Anyway, self-employed and professionals with annual gross sales or income receipts, kung yung kita natin ay hindi lalagpas sa 3 million, hindi natin kailangang magbayad ng additional tax na tinatawag na VAT. I've mentioned this to some of my clients kasi nakita ko binabawasan sila ng VAT. I asked them to parang inform yung in charge dun sa pagbabawas ng VAT na hindi naman sila kumikita ng 3 million above. So, hindi sila kailangang kaltasan para sa VAT. So, kapag below 3 million ka, etong dalawa lang ang taxes mo, either yung 8% or graduated IT. Now, 8%, sabi dito, in excess of 250,000. So, kapag ang pinili mo, going back, pag ang pinili mo is itong 8% income tax rate, let's say ang iyong annual for the whole 2023, ang income mo is 240,000 lang. I mean, not lang, is 240,000, malaking pera na rin yun. Wala kang tax. Bakit? Kasi dun lang sa susobra sa 250 tayo natatax. Lagi. Yun yung lagi nating tatandaan. Dun lang sa excess sa 250. So, that means I earned 240,000 for the whole 2023. Wala akong kailangang bayaran. However, yung income ko pala ay 251,000. So, meron akong 1K, 1,000 na excess. Yung 1,000 na yun, taxable siya by 8%. So, 8% of 1,000 is how much? 80? Yun lang ang tax ko. Yun yung 8% income tax rate. Let's say naman ang income ko is 350,000 for the whole 2023. So, ang excess ko dun sa tax-exempt na income, which is 250,
1,000.
100,000 yung excess ko. So, that's taxable by 8% kasi pili natin si 8% income tax rate. That's correct, 8,000. Pero yung client ko, nagbawas na sa akin ng tax ng 5,000. So, paano yun? Parang doble-doble naman. Ang pwede natin gawin doon, 8,000 yung dapat na tax mo, ibabawas natin yung kinuha sa'yo ni client.
Okay.
So, 3,000 na lang yung kailangan mong bayaran na cash or na kailangan bayaran sa BIR. Kung meron silang binawas sa'yo. Pero kailangan nating humingi ng documentation na binawasan ka kanila para may attachment tayo pagka-file. So that's 8% income tax rate. If you don't exceed 250,000, it's better to choose this one kasi wala kang babayaran ng tax. Ngayon, punta tayo kay graduated IT rate. Katulad ng sabi ko, usually ito yung default. Why? Kasi sa graduated income tax rate, regardless of your income, magbabayad ka ng tinatawag natin na percentage tax. Depende yan, it could be 1% or 3% every quarter. Yun ang babayaran mo. When I say every quarter, that's after every 3 months. Magbabayad ka ng 3% or 1% depende sa income mo. So kahit na hindi ka pa lumagpas sa 250, kahit let's say 40,000 pa lang income mo, may babayaran ka na agad. Ngayon, what's good about graduated IT rate is meron kang tinatawag dyan na allowable deduction. So, let's say yung income mo is nasa 300,000 na. Meron kang allowed na pwedeng ibawas na income mo, which is 40%. Actually, dalawa yung choice mo doon. Pwede kang magbawas ng automatic na 40% ng 300,000, which is 120? 120,000. So that means ang taxable income mo lang ay 300 minus 120 is 180. So hindi ka pa matatax kasi hindi ka pa lalagpas sa 250. Yun yung graduated IT rate. Ang difference niya, every quarter, kailangan mo magbayad ng 3% or 1%. Pero pagdating ng year-end, kung malaki yung total income mo, hindi lahat yon itatax kasi pwede kang magbawas ng 40%. Or kung masipag kang magtabi ng lahat ng expenses mo, pwedeng may tinatawag tayong itemized deduction. Halimbawa, lahat ng mga expenses mo na related sa work mo, natatabi mo yung resibo. Lahat ng resibo nakapangalan sa'yo. Halimbawa, kailangan bumili ng bagong MacBook. So, nagbayad ka ng 80,000 na itabi mo yun. Pwede mong ibawas yun dun sa income mo. So, lahat ng expenses mo na related sa work, nakapangalan sa'yo, may resibo, pwede natin siyang ibawas dun sa total income mo para liliit yung taxable income. Kung masipag ka magtabi. Pero kung let's say, ay nawala ko ng resibo nito kasi ganun usually yung mga clients ko, nawala ko ng resibo ng ganyan, yung ganyan. Doon na lang tayo sa automatic na 40%. Kahit may resibo, kahit wala, babawasan ng 40% yung income. Parang ganun. So, yun yung difference nila. Sa 8%, wala kang babayaran unless lumagpas ka sa 250. Pag lumagpas ka, yung excess taxable by 8%. Sa graduated IT rate, yung total annual income mo, pwede mong bawasan ng expenses mo para lumiit yung taxable income mo. Pero, every quarter, magbabayad ka na ng percentage tax. That's 1 to 3%. That's the difference. So, usually, kung mas malaking income, mas gusto nilang graduated IT rate. Kasi nga, may allowable deduction. Yun. Any questions so far? Medyo...
Question. Eto, mayroong question. Sinabi mo dun sa graduated IT rate, may tinatawag tayong allowable deductions. And that would be mga expenses pertaining to the business itself. Diba? Hindi yung sa mga personal expenses po, wala pong kinalaman yung personal expenses doon. Yung expenses lang that has something to do with the business. Like yung sa operational expenses natin, kuryente, tubig, o kung ginagamit natin for operations, yung computer, yung maintenance and all. Eto. Meron ba tayong reference o listahan ng allowable na mga expenses? For example, as an online freelancer, may pinalabas ba na mga na reference na items or allowable na expenses ang BIR na i-consider na allowable expenses?
Wala namang exact na kumbaga na specific na pasok lang. I think it depends on how you justify it. For example, nagdista ako ng transportation expenses. Pero sasabihin sa akin ng BIR, di ba work from home ka? Ganyan. Pero I can justify with them na there was one time na pinatawag ako sa office and kinailangan ko mag-commute. So as long as you can justify, and again, may dalawang types of deductions. May tinatawag tayong 40%, parang automatic deduction yon. No need to present receipts or invoices. However, if you choose yung itemized deduction, maybe you think na masyadong malaki yung expenses mo, it's way more than 40%. Just make sure you can present documentation like receipts. The receipts have to be under your name. And again, it's how you justify with them na, for example, may client ako na ESL teacher, bumili siya ng blazer. May mga online receipt siya na bumili siya ng mga damit. So, in-explain naman niya doon na I use this for teaching. Kasi required sila magsuot ng blazer. So, as long as we can justify with them naman, wala namang, hindi man sila sobrang strict. Wag lang naman yung, kunyari, nagpunta tayo abroad. Tapos, yung cost ng ng plane ticket mo, nilagay mo doon, pero that's for vacation. So, yung mga ganon na hindi natin ma-justify, yun yung hindi pwede.
Oo. Okay. So, klaro-klaro na mga ka-Berks dyan, mga FOPS Lancers. So, you have two options, yung 8% na IT rate at saka yung graduated IT rate. So, ano lang ha, klaro lang, yung sa 8%, that is yung sobra sa requirement na 250,000. Okay? Doon tayo magbe-base. Ano yung sobra nun? Kung for example, 300,000 yung kinikita mo annually. Hindi po monthly ha. Annual gross income. Meaning to say, yung kinita mo buong taon na wala pang deductions. Okay? Tama ba ako, Ms. Chris?
That's correct po.
Okay. At saka yung graduated IT rate. Minsan kasi, Miss Chris, other na mga taxpayers natin, mga online freelancers na mga ka-Berks natin, they prefer kasi maraming nagsasabi, huy, Celeste, dun ka dun sa 8% kasi mababa yung babayaran. Yung isa naman nagsasabi sa akin, uy, dun ka sa graduated kasi mas mababa. Nawindang ako, Miss Chris. Yun pala, klaro yung explanation mo, depende sa income rate mo annually.
That's right. Kasi kung masyado malaking income mo, malaking bagay yung 40% na deduction by year.
Malaking tulong yun.
And at the same time, kahit nagbabayad ka ng 1 to 3% na percentage tax, hindi siya ganun kalaki kasi it's on a quarterly basis. So, parang porsyento lang ng income mo yung babayaran 1 to 3%. And pagdating ng year-end, hindi ganun kalaki yung tax mong babayaran kasi nga may deduction pa na 40%. So, kung medyo may kalakihan, it's best to go with graduated. Pero kung mga hindi naman lumalayo sa 250, parang a little above or mas mababa pa, it's best na mag 8%. Pero yun nga, by default, I just want to give a heads up to everyone, especially mga magre-register pa lang, always check your options kasi by default sa graduated IT tayo nilalagay kasi nga automatic magbabayad ka dyan kahit 10,000 na yung income mo for the quarter, magbabayad ka agad. So, check with them. And another important thing, this has to be updated every year. So, just because 8% ka for 2023, it doesn't mean na you're 8% all the way. Registered na tayo once again. Responsibilidad natin na mag-file ng mga tax return. Dito natin nire-report sa BIR kung ano yung magkano kinita natin, kung binawasan ba tayo ng tax ng client, dito rin natin siya i-report. Or if we don't have any income, just the same, we should file. So, sa atin, commonly yung mga makikita natin 0605, 1701Q, 2551Q, 1701A. I'll discuss them sa mga next slides. Pero Q means quarterly. If you see Q sa end ng form, it's a hint na for quarterly siya. If you see A, that's for annually. Before, meron pang M. Halimbawa, 2551M, that's for monthly. Pero since yung train law, wala na tayong monthly filing, quarterly na lang. So that's another benefit. And every time you miss one of this, that's 1,000 pesos penalty. So let's say wala naman akong income ng January to March ng 2023, hindi na ako nag-file ng 1701Q tsaka 2551Q. That's not correct. Kailangan mo pa rin mag-file. So since dalawa na mismo, 2,000 yung penalty mo. Automatic. Wala ka ng income, nag-penalize ka pa. So,
Wait, Miss Chris. Yung sinasabi mong form sa kailangan mong i-file quarterly at saka na mismo yun, automatic deduction, automatic penalty, 1,000 kada form?
It's not exactly po na deduction, pero it will be on your record sa PIR. Tinatawag nila yun na open cases. So, magkakaroon ka ng open case every time may namimiss kang i-file. And when it comes to, when the time comes na i-close mo na yung business mo, hindi mo mako-close unless babayaran mo yung mga open cases mo. And there are times also na si PIR, nagre-reach out sila, nagsasend ng letter. Ako, naka-receive ako nung nakaraan. Nagpa-file naman ako, naka-receive ako, sabi na I missed filing mga 4 yata. So, bayaran ko raw, i-settle ko daw. Discuss ko yan later how to take care of those disputes. So, ayun, every time you miss one of this, that's automatic 1,000. Pwede nating ma-negotiate sa PIR, pero usually, minimum nila is 1,000. Minsan, mas malaki pa kung may income ka, hindi ka nag-file. So, mas malaki pa. Kasi may surcharge. Anyway, the first one is 1701Q. Sino nagpa-file nito? Lahat nagpa-file nito. Both. Whether you are graduated IT or you are 8% income tax, kailangan mag-file nitong 1701 quarterly income tax return. Deadline nito, 45 days after the end of each quarter. So, January, end of March, after 45 days, that's May 15. And then August 15, and then November 15. So, 3 lang yan, walang fourth quarter, kasi sa fourth quarter, ang ipa-file na natin is yung 1701A or annual. Ngayon ito, merong downloadable forms po online. Pwede mong i-print and manually dali mo sa BIR. Pero once again, ini-encourage nila na online filing na lang. So, nasa BIR app nila to. I-fill out mo lang doon. And madali naman siyang i-fill out actually kasi every time na may error ka, may prompt naman. Or pag merong missing information, may prompt naman. Ayun, May 15, August 15, November 15. Once again, regardless of your category, 8% man, graduated IT man, ipa-file mo yan. And then, 2551Q. So, ang name nito is, ang form nito is quarterly percentage tax return. Pina-file lang to ng mga naka-graduated IT. Ito yung form na ginagamit nila para bayaran yung 1 to 3% na percentage tax nila every quarter. So, hindi to pina-file ng mga naka 8% IT kasi wala silang babayaran ng tax. Para lang to sa mga naka-graduated IT. This one is due every 25 days after the quarter. So, the first quarter ends sa March. After 25 days, April 25. Same pag-end ng June, July 25. Pag-end ng September, October 25. So, automatic dyan, ilalagay lang natin yung income and then makikita natin kung magkano yung babayaran. So, ito yung mga quarterly. 1701Q para sa lahat. 2551Q para sa naka-graduated IT. The next one, ito, may naligaw dyan na logo. 1701A. This is for annual tax return. Ito yung pina-file natin at the end of the year. So we can file it as early as January 1, pero the deadline is April 15. Sometimes nag-extend sila depende sa situation. Like nung pandemic, I think na-extend siya until June, parang ganun. Pero annual income tax return. Yung nalalaki yung tanong ni Sir Dennis. Anyway, payment form 0605, kailan natin to ginagamit? Marami, pero yung pinaka-importante is kapag nagre-renew tayo. So once again, hindi natatapos sa pagre-register yung obligasyon natin. Very good na nag-register ka, naging law-abiding citizen ka. Pero, yung registration na yun, we have to renew every year. So, like what I explained the last time, let's say November 2022 ako nag-register. So, I was thinking na November 2023 pa ako dapat mag-renew, pero that's wrong. Even if November ka na nag-register, by January, kailangan mo ulit mag-renew for 2023. So, every January 31 ang deadline, and if you miss renewing, may penalty na 1,000 and some additional surcharges. Aside from renewal of registration, ginagamit din natin to pag nagbabayad tayo ng penalties or kahit anong mga binabayaran natin sa BIR, we can use 0605. So basically, yung apat na yun yung mga forms na commonly may encounter natin as freelancers. 1701Q, that's yung quarterly income tax, 2551Q, quarterly percentage tax, and 1701A, annual tax, and payment form. Usually, if you would look at your COR, makikita mo dun kung ano mga forms yung kailangan mong i-file and kailan yung mga deadline. Anyway, before we go dun sa closure, do you have any questions, Ms. Celeste?
It's more of actually dito ko nalaman na you have the several forms that you need to comply either annually or quarterly, even if wala kang income. Di ba kailangan mong i-file doon, parang nagre-report lang tayo, oy, BIR, wala akong income ngayon. So, eto yung pruweba ko. O parang ganun, para hindi tayo maka-penalty. My gosh, 1K po, malaki, ilang kilong bigas na ninyo, Miss Chris. Okay, and then, and then you have two options on how are you going to pay your taxes, di ba? Going back yung 8% at saka yung graduated IT rate.
That's correct.
Okay, so gets. Okay. Pero Miss Chris, eto, ayoko nang magtrabaho sa online freelancing. Gusto ko nang may bahay feels na ako ngayon. So, taong bahay na. Gusto kong i-close yung business ko. Anong gagawin ko? At how do I report that one sa BIR?
That's a good question. And it's also very important na kapag ayaw mo na, or kahit mag-break, magte-take ka lang ng break, if you think hindi mo maaasikaso yung pag-file, yung pagsusulat sa libro, and everything, you can close muna your registration. And then, pag kailangan mo, mag-register ka na lang ulit. Closure, syempre dapat may closure. Kailangan may closure lahat. So, cessation of
Pati din sa
business.
BIR, di ba? May closure din.
Yes.
Para
So,
maka-move on.
Kasi masakit yung consequence kapag walang closure, di ba? Parang for the whole year. Anyway, for cessation of business, kailangan na yung annual ITR mo, latest, ma-file mo siya before the deadline. So for example, ayaw mo nang mag-work ng 2023 and sabi mo, tama na hanggang 2022 na lang, ayoko na mag-work. File mo muna yung 1701A or annual ITR before the deadline, which is April 15. So, hahanapin nila yan. Kapag naman middle of the year ka nag-decide na magpa-close, yung mga quarterly ITRs lang ang kailangan. Letter of closure addressed to the BIR. So here you would explain, parang personal letter mo lang sa kanila na, Dear Officer, balik sa BIR yung mga unused receipts na yan. Isusurrender natin yan. Kapag hindi natin sorry po, nabaha, or nasunog, or nawala, naglipat kami, hindi ko na alam, or ginawang stationary ng anak ko, parang ganyan. So, may penalty yun. I think pinakamababa is 5,000, could be up to 10,000. Same sa books of accounts, unang-una kailangan may sulat yan. Hindi yan porque natatakan yung libro mo, okay na, kailangan may sulat yan ng mga income mo and expenses. Ngayon, let's say, ay nawala, nasunog, nabaha, sinulatan, ganyan. Penalty po ulit yun. Babayaran po natin ulit yun. Again, depende sa RTO, pero may mga cases sa clients ko na hanggang 10,000, ganyan. And of course, yung COR, ingatan natin yan. Yun yung proof na registered tayo. So, kapag nawala yung mga yan, yung OR, yung books, yung certificate, bago tayo makapagpa-close, babayaran muna natin sila. So, always make sure na ingatan natin. Kasi nakapag-register nga tayo ng maayos, hindi naman tayo makakapag-close ng maayos. So, sayang, magbabayad pa tayo, pasara na nga yung business natin. So, yun lang naman yung mga requirements. Hindi naman sila ganun kahirap, especially kung naingatan naman natin if we were able to parang care dun sa mga dokumento natin. So, as early as registration, if we have an idea na ay kailangan palang ingatan to, at least maiingatan na natin siya agad. So, yun yung mga requirements. The process may take up to 2 weeks. Pwede kang abutin ng longer than that, pero usually up to 2 weeks lang. This was yung last time, mga simplified steps. Ulitin ko lang tong mga misconception last time very quickly para maiwasan yung penalty. Zero income, just because zero income ka, hindi ka na magpa-file, that's not correct. Kasi may penalty, 1,000 for every missed na ITR. Regardless kung magkano regardless kung may income ka or wala. Hindi na ako nag-work kay client or iba na yung client ko, iba na yung ESL school, ganyan. It doesn't matter. Yung BIR mo, yung COR mo, yung registration mo, that's tied with BIR, not with your client. So, no matter how many times you change your client, kailangan mo mag-file, kailangan mo magpa-close if necessary. Wala na ako sa Pilipinas, wala na akong pake sa BIR kasi nandito na ako sa abroad. Well, yung records mo, nandito pa rin. So, tumatakbo yan. Maybe someday, kailanganin mo yung BIR records mo. Hindi porque wala ka na sa Pinas, pababayaan mo na siya. So, if you don't have time to file, close it. No need to register or update additional business. Meron naman ako COR for ESL eh. So, kahit magnegosyo ako ng computer shop, okay na yun. Hindi na ako papa-update. Well, actually, that's not okay. Since hindi sila pareho ng line of business, they have to be registered separately. So, mape-penalize ka pa rin dun sa isang business. And again, register yearly. It's not a one-time thing. You have to do it every year. File your ITRs. You have to know what's your category, 8% or graduated, para malaman mo kung anong i-file. Of course, know the deadlines. Pay your taxes, especially once you exceed 250,000. Yung iba, nag-file naman ako, ayoko na magbayad. Well, that's useless then kasi lalaki pa yung penalty mo. And like what I always say, if you're not sure, if you can remember the deadlines, you can always hire, like a professional bookkeeper or accountant. Mas mababa yung babayaran mo sa kanila kaysa yung magkakamali ka sa deadlines or sa pag-file and mapupunta lang sa penalty yung income. Yun lang naman po.
Definitely. I hope you can hear me loud and clear, Miss Chris.
Yes.
Definitely. All right. I really appreciate those learnings that I have gotten. And as what you can see on our screen, medyo naputol si partner sa individual presentation, pero go langs. Hello sa lahat ng manonood sa live. We are actually live sa YouTube and also sa Facebook. And of course, maraming nanonood na mga freelancers. And this is also somewhat some of the questions na na-receive ko. Miss Chris, ano yung first thing na gagawin nila, especially if hindi nila alam na kailangan pala sila magpa-close or bago nila iwanan yung business na sinimulan nila and then hindi nag-work? Yun yung PM ng ating Pops Lancer. Pops Lancer. Okay, nag-PM siya. Guide naman natin, Miss Chris. Go ahead.
So, nag-register po sila ng business, Shirley, and then hindi nag-prosper.
Nag-start siya ng business daw, nag-start up ng business, mukhang napaso. Kaya lang, hindi niya tinuloy yung business. Ano yung gagawin niya ngayon kasi hindi niya alam kung ano yung process. Kasi nga, na-mention natin dito na when you started a business and once you have registered that business, you are also obliged na kailangan mo siyang ipa-close sa BIR din since doon mo siya na-register. Go ahead, Miss Chris.
Well, medyo, syempre, sa part ni taxpayer, medyo nakakatakot. Pero, the best thing to do is pumunta sa BIR and ipa-check talaga yung record. May tinatawag tayong CMS, Case Monitoring System. So, pwede kang maghingi ng CMS sa kanila. Makikita mo doon lahat ng compliances na mismo. At the same time, makakwenta din doon kung magkano talaga yung penalty na kailangan mong bayaran. And from there, at least you would know what to do. Pwede tayong makipag-negotiate sa BIR, parang pwede nating sabihin na Kasi po sir, from this year up to now, hindi naman talaga ako nag-operate. Hindi ko lang talaga alam, hindi lang ako aware. And sometimes naman, they are considerate and they can give you, yung tawag natin, settlement. So, meron at merong kailangang bayaran na meron at merong penalty na lalabas. Pero at least, ang the first thing to do talaga is pumunta kung saan mo ni-register yon and doon mo makikita yung records mo sa kanila.
Kung saan silang nearest RDO na tinatawag.
Or not exactly nearest 30 kasi for example, may businesses in
kung sa application.
Kung saan mo siya ni-register.
Yes. Okay, so another one ako more on I can relate to. What if, for example, I have a good friend of mine, okay, maganda to. Hindi siya aware, kasi di ba na-mention kanina, there are kinds of taxpayers. So, nagpo-fall siya dun sa part ng pagiging isang professional. Although, sabihin natin, he is not licensed to be called as professional, but he or she is practicing his profession. Okay? Now, ang tanong niya is, let's say, kumikita naman siya and then nagpa-file naman ng 2307. Ang challenge lang is hindi siya registered sa BIR. But of course, merong returns na binibigay sa kanya. Anong mangyayari pag ganong situation?
Actually, Sir Dance, yung 2307, it's not actually filing by itself. 2307 is a document that's given by your client. Or hindi kasi employer kasi iba sa employer. So by your client or client na lang sabihin natin or customer. Yun yung binibigay niya as proof na pinasweldo ka niya. Nakalagay kasi doon how much you've earned for the period, let's say for the quarter or for the year. And if may taxes na dineduct sa'yo, magre-reflect din sa 2307. So actually, if you think about it, pag nag-submit si client ng 2307 sa BIR, malalaman ng BIR that you are earning as you're not self-employed kasi hindi ka pa registered. You're earning as a professional maybe, or you have income, you have sources of income na hindi nila na hindi mo ni-register sa kanila. So, pwede pang maging grounds yan for penalty. 2307 actually is Certificate of Creditable Tax Withheld. So, dito actually pinapakita ng client mo kung may binawa siyang tax sa'yo o wala. Nakalagay din doon yung sweldo mo. Yun yung pinaka-proof niya na nagbawas ba siya or hindi ng tax sa'yo. So, nire-remit niya yan sa BIR. Si BIR naman, syempre makikita niya doon yung TIN. Halimbawa, sa akin yun, makikita niya yung TIN ko doon. Makikita niya doon na, ay, si Chris, nag-earn siya ng 500,000 for 2023, pero hindi naman siya registered, hindi rin siya employed. So, pwede kang, kunyari, nag-decide akong, mag-register na ako ng 2024. Sasabihin ni BIR, bakit nung 2023, yung 2307 mo from your client, nakalagay ito na nag-earn ka ng 500,000. May penalty ka dyan. That could happen.
Okay, good. Thank you very much for that clarification. Partner, I can hear you. Go ahead. Maybe you have question.
Sorry. Ganun. Eto, Miss Chris, may additional question ako. Going back doon sa document na 2307, which sa kaalaman ng natin ka-work sa mga Pops Lancers, usually, binibigay sa atin to, pina-file ito ng client natin, especially we're giving services sa mga government agencies. So, eto yung question. Miss Chris, first question about 2307. Ilang percent ba ang talagang ibabawas ni client na tax based sa 2307?
Actually, dapat 10%. Kung hindi ka registered as employed, dapat 10%. Ngayon, kung ikaw registered ka self-employed and may sasabit ka sa kanila na dokumento, actually, yun ay isang affidavit of your income. Kapag nasabit mo yung COR mo as registered self-employed and then yung isa pang document na pinag-usapan natin yung previously, Sir Dennis, yung declaration of income, kapag nasubmit mo yun, saan dapat may tax ka na 8%, pwede na nilang ibawas yung buong 8% or usually, binabawas lang nila is 5%. So that means yung 3% babayaran mo pa rin. So let's say for example, ang income mo is 350. Naka 8% ID rate ka. Ngayon, yung taxable income mo doon is how much? 100,000, di ba? Kasi tax exempt lang tayo ng 250. So yung 100,000 taxable siya by 8%. Si client, nagdeduct siya sa'yo ng 8,000. So wala ka nang babayaran kasi yun lang naman yung tax due mo. 100,000 times 8%. Pero usually, clients dito sa Pilipinas, nagbabawas lang sila ng 5%. So, binawasan ka lang nila ng 5,000. Magbabayad ka pa rin ng 3,000. If binawas nila is more than, let's say, nagbawas sila ng 10,000 for whatever reason, sometimes it happens, yung 2,000 doon na excess, pwede mo siyang gamitin, pambayad sa taxes mo in the future. Magiging tinatawag siya na tax credit. Parang pondo mo ba kay BIR? Pwede siyang pambayad sa mga tax payables mo sa mga susunod na quarter. Pero hindi siya pwedeng pambayad ng penalty or registration kasi income tax siya. So, pwede lang siyang gamitin for income tax purposes. You may also file ng tax refund, hindi kay client, kundi kay BIR. Kasi self-employed ka eh. Yung binawas sa'yo ni client, hindi naman may iwan sa kanila yan. Nire-remit nila yan kay BIR. So if you want to file tax refund, kay BIR. And honestly, it's very tedious. Matagal, magastos, maraming sama ng loob kasi maraming hinihingi. And in the end, tax credit lang din yung kauuwian nung excess. So, ang madalas na nire-recommend ko is tax credit na lang. Pero kung makulit si client, punta ka na lang sa BIR, ikaw mag-askaso. Yan.
Okay, good information that I have gotten. I would like to ask also, what if for example, there's a situation na kung saan ang deductions na binawas kay service provider is more than the tax or percentage na dapat ibawas sa kanya. Tapos, they found out na hindi dapat gano'n yung bawas sa kanya. Is there any chance na mabawi pa ng service provider or ng isang freelancer doon sa BIR na final or yung binayaran niya?
If registered ka, may COR ka, registered ka, self-employed, pwede mo siyang i-file ng tax refund sa BIR. Mahaba siyang proseso. For example, ako, registered ako, may COR ako, self-employed ako. And then yung client ko, ang laki ng binawas na tax, parang 20%. So, sobra-sobra siya. Hahabulin ko yung tax na yun, hindi kay client, kundi kay BIR. Kay BIR ko. Kasi si client, i-remit niya yung kay BIR. Parang yung 20% na kinuha niya sa akin, nakita ko sa 2307, 20%. Kay BIR niya yung dadalhin. Hindi ko na pwedeng kunin kay client. So, sa BIR, sabihin ko, my client was supposed to parang tax me lang ng 8%, pero they deducted 20% tax, so I need a 12% refund kung registered ako. Pero kung wala akong registration, wala akong habol dun sa binawas niya.
So, kahit 20%, Miss Chris, na binawas?
Wala akong habol. Kasi hindi ako registered eh. Baka pag inabol ko yun sa BIR, mas malaki pa yung kunin din sa akin. Hindi ka pala registered eh. Baka gawin natin 30% yan. Yan.
So, on that case, wala bang pananagutan doon yung nag-file at mali yung kanyang declaration of deductions sa percentage sa amin? Kasi ang mangyayari, papupuntahin nyo na kami kagad kay BIR. Hello po, BIR, magandang gabi. May marami na po may katanungan.
What I would suggest, Rudy, kapag ganyan, for example, may history na hindi tama yung tax deduction, maghingi kayo on time or parang sabihin nyo na sila na pag nagde-deduct sila, even though you're not registered, dapat 10% lang for sa atin, sa mga professionals, dapat 10% lang yung maximum na dinideduct nila.
Okay, okay.
Tapos,
Partner, I'm okay now with the questions that I want to ask or clarify. Maybe meron ka dyan or go ahead.
Okay. Especially to, Miss Chris, sa mga baguhan nating mga online freelancers dyan na nanonood sa atin. They were asking, kasi may clients sila, especially mga foreign clients din, even mga local clients, were asking for a receipt, official receipt, diba? Acknowledgement receipt. Gawang official acknowledgement receipt. Okay lang ba yun?
actually, hindi okay. Issuing ng receipt is parang illegal kung hindi siya registered sa BIR.
Acknowledgement receipt ang mistakes.
Acknowledgement receipt, okay lang naman siguro kung hindi naman siya parang not in the guise of official receipt. Pero hindi ko kasi masasabi kasi kung parang you're issuing that as acknowledgement na tumanggap ka ng pera in return, in exchange sa services mo. So para rin siyang resibo rin talaga, 'di ba?
Okay.
Yung function niya is para pa ring resibo. Kung hindi naman makakarating sa BIR, wala namang problema. If it's just para lang mapanatag yung loob rin ng client na nagbigay ka ng documentation na tinanggap mo yung fees sa services mo, wala namang problema. Pero if possible talaga, kung yun yung isa sa kapanatagan ng loob mo kapag register ka, may OR ka, parang kahit anong transaction, meron kang mabibigay ng official receipt. Sabi ko nga last week, yung authenticity ba ng business mo or ng services mo, meron ka na mabibigay na resibo sa kanila. Pero I think for the purpose lang ng acknowledging yung sa client mo, okay lang. Pero kung tatanungin ko, if it's a legal document, it's not considered a legal document.
Oo. As long as hindi lang i-declare do for BIR.
Kung hindi rin naman gagamitin, kung hindi rin gagamitin, especially if naman si client overseas, pero kung si client gagamitin niya rin books niya, hindi siya pwede.
Okay. Alright, sige. Last question lang kasi madalas ko tong ma-encounter. There are establishments that they are asking, Sir, kailangan niyo po ba ng resibo? Marami ako na-encounter ng mga ganitong establishments. And then if that is the case, hindi sila nag-i-issue.
I know, na-urge ako dun.
May ganun ako na-encounter. Ano yung for you, Miss Chris, ano yung dapat natin gawin dito? Or is it legal?
Bawal po siya talaga. Before nga, ang minimum na transaction dapat 25 pesos and above, dapat mag-issue tayo ng resibo. Kaya lang, parang masyado siyang, masyadong tedious ba para sa mga business owners. Paano kung nagtitinda ako ng kwek-kwek tapos bumili sa akin ng 30 pesos, diba? So, resibuhan ko pa siya? Dati, ang nila doon, ang workaround nila doon, parang pwede mong i-combine yung sales mo for the day. Tapos minsanan na lang na resibo. Just for the books, para sa record mo lang, parang naka-receive ka from, let's say, receive from customer, the amount of, let's say, 2,000 pesos for today, in exchange of, pwede mo rin silang ireklamo. Pero yung minimum nila ngayon is 100 pesos. Pero, for example, ako, nung ESL, hindi ko naman nire-resibuhan bawat klase ko na pay to aya ko, parang 100 pesos, ganyan. So, ginagawa ko lang is every payday, isang resibo, pinapadala dun sa ESL. And one thing pala about ORs, before kasi 5 years expired na yan. So, ngayon, the good thing about ORs, wala siyang expiration. So,
perfect. Kasi nakikita ko minsan, pag nagre-renew kami ng business registration, nakikita ko sa park sa gilid, pinupunit nila yung mga resibo. Yung mga nag-closure siguro yun. Kasi required kasi before na isoli pa rin lahat ng mga unused receipts. Parang sayang.
Until now, kapag magko-close ka ng business, lahat ng unused mo, kailangan mo i-surrender.
Isolate pa rin. Okay.
So,
At
ingatan
least,
lahat yung OR, yung books, yung COR, ingatan. Kasi, pag nag-close ka, wala kang penalty, nagpa-file ka nga, kaso nawala mo. Pag nag-close ka, hindi mo mako-close yan, babayaran mo pa yung penalty. Ganun.
At saka mahal mag-file ng ano no, ng permit para magpagawa ng ORs.
may minimum kasi
Saka, oo, may minimum tsaka
10
expiration 5
booklets
years.
above,
At
mga
hindi,
ganun.
at saka hindi lahat ng ORs magagamit in that period of time.
At least
Wala na siyang
ngayon.
expiration. Pwede mo na siyang
Yes.
forever gamitin.
Oo.
Okay, talking about forever, there's no such thing as forever. Just like this webinar session for tonight. And as far as we wanted to continue our session, it's just that time na actually nag-overtime pa nga tayo. Of course, we really appreciate your time and effort na pinagbigyan mo kami, Miss Chris. And of course, pagbigyan nyo kami sa small token namin na ipapakita namin sa screen. Hello partner, go ahead, take the floor. Ipakita natin kay Miss Chris. All right.
Oh yes, wait.
Go ahead, partner.
Okay, so I'd like to give the certificate of appreciation to Miss Marichris Carvalho for being a resource speaker for, ay nako, hindi ko mabasa. Nakamobile lang ako, sorry.
Okay, partner. So let me do that na lang. Ako na lang on my part para mabasa natin ng maayos at medyo malaki-laki. Okay, so yeah, certificate of appreciation to our resource person for tonight for being our resource person on the two-part webinar session entitled BII Registration for Self-Employed. And of course, our title for tonight is also filing of tax returns of closure of your registration, either you are self-employed. Of course, this is being initiated by the Filipino Online Professional Service Cooperative and signed by our chairperson, Ms. Rochelle Rivera de Ocampo. Isisend na lang po namin to through your email address. And of course, maraming salamat, Ms. Chris. Go ahead, take the floor. Paano ka marireach ng ating mga viewers if they want to connect with you or if they ask for your services? Go ahead, take the floor, invite them.
May manager po ako, si Sir Dennis. Joke lang po. May Facebook account po ako, Chris Carvalho. Nagre-reply naman po ako doon. I think marami na akong nakausap dito. So, kung mga consultation lang, you can always PM me. And sorry, Sir Dennis, mahirap akong kontakin for the talk. Parang madalang ako mag-reply. Alam mo naman, may work, maraming racket. Pero anytime po na may clarifications pa or gusto pang magtanong, willing naman ako. Always.
Definitely.
Yes.
You can always reach us, Miss Chris, Popsco, or kami dito sa Popsco Academy. If you do have concerns and need an advice or help on your legalities when it comes to BIR, taxes, and closure, kailangan natin ng closure just like this session. Thank you, Popsco sponsors, especially Popsco Media. Of course, we would like to extend our gratitude to Popsco team, especially yung mga nagsusupport sa atin dito sa ating magandang layout na to. Our partner in giving us this awesome and informative program or this show. So again, join us on our next week session or for another show. Yes, with another special guest. And of course, partner, go ahead. Maybe you have something to share.
Yes, before we forgot, Sir Dennis, Miss Chris, thank you so much for watching us, guys, and hope to see you again next Tuesday. At please don't forget to watch Pops Talk every Wednesday. May bago tayong pakulo, may bago tayong i-feature for Pops Talk. And also please like our page, facebook.com/fopsco.ph, a national peace cooperative for Filipino audit professionals. And you may also find us on Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. If you had some takeaways in tonight's show, please share this episode so others can also learn like you. kung paano magkaroon ng closure, baka move on sa BIR.
Thank you very
So,
much,
for
partner.
FOPSCO members who'd like to work together, please join our Zoom co-working every Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Just go to fopsco.ph/co-working. At saka for our FOPSCO family, Sir Dennis.
Let's keep growing together. Guys, for watching. See you next week.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.